Separate but Unequal, Modern School Segregation in New Jersey. In this presentation, I'm going to explore how New Jersey, a state often viewed as progressive, actually has some of the most segregated public schools in the entire country. I'm going to explain how we got here, why segregation has persisted for decades, and what political debates and solutions are emerging today. So, to begin with the reality, New Jersey is consistently ranked as one of the most segregated states for Black and Latino students. More than 377,000 students attend schools where over 75% of their peers are students of color. Many people assume that segregation ended in the 1950s, but in New Jersey it functions differently. Instead of through explicit laws, there are structures that separate students by race and class, and this segregation exists despite strong civil rights protections in the state constitution. So the question becomes, how can a state with such progressive education laws still be one of the most separated? So the core reason lies in New Jersey's extremely fragmented system of more than 600 local school districts. These district lines frequently reflect old housing patterns created by redlining and exclusionary zoning. New Jersey Future explains that housing policy is school policy, meaning where students live determine where they go to school, and the racial segregation of neighborhoods leads directly to segregated schools. The New Jersey policy perspective identifies that wealthier suburban communities often oppose regional integration because local control allows them to maintain higher funding through their own property taxes. So even though segregation is unconstitutional in principle, the political system makes it easy for it to continue. If we compare New Jersey to Connecticut, it adds another layer. It shows that Connecticut's stronger inter-district choice programs help integrate schools across town lines, while New Jersey's programs are too limited and voluntary to make any significant change. In other words, segregated schooling in New Jersey isn't just historical, it's being reproduced through current policy choices. So this is just a map of the same area of Newark. It shows the redlining zones, which is the housing, and then on the right it shows the school districts in that area where they're separated and the lines for where a student attends school based on where they live. Segregated schools are not just divided by race, they're also unequal in resources and opportunities. Majority Black and Latino districts have far lower property wealth, meaning they struggle to raise the same level of local funding as nearby white districts. This impacts almost every aspect of schooling, from class sizes and building conditions to the availability of AP courses, art programs, counselors, and extracurriculars. These differences affect long-term outcomes. Students in segregated districts have fewer opportunities for advanced coursework, less experienced teachers on average, and fewer pathways to competitive colleges. Meanwhile, predominantly white districts benefit from strong local tax bases and access to enriched programs. This results in a system where the zip code a child is born into determines the quality of their education based on resources. And you can see the opportunity gap. So this graph just shows the math grades for grade 8. Their scores are very, very different. So the top line shows not economically disadvantaged are way higher than our economically disadvantaged students. So today, the issue is at the center of a major lawsuit, Latino Action Network v. New Jersey. The plaintiffs argue that the state has knowingly allowed unconstitutional segregation to continue. A judge is now considering whether New Jersey must take active steps to desegregate its schools. Possible solutions include regional magnet school, schools, letting students cross district lines more easily, or even consolidating some districts. Reforms that resemble what Connecticut has done, such as allowing students to cross over district lines. But these proposals face political resistance, especially from suburban communities concerned about losing local control. Um, the New Jersey Future article made the point really clear that school segregation in the state is not an accident. It's the result of decades of political decisions about housing, zoning, district boundaries, and funding. Meaningful change is going to require major policy shifts, not just small adjustments. And these are my references.